Oh, man. Say it ain't so. Former Devin Haney opponent Regis Prograis, also former WBC champion, he speaks out and he says basically Devin Haney manipulated the weight in his fight with Prograis, and per the rules in California, Devin was not supposed to rehydrate so much. That's what we're going to talk about. Let's get unpacked. We Unpack coming to you live. Wow. The backlash continues for Devin Haney. And I believe, just like Cheddar Bob in the movie 8 Mile, this was self-inflicted, where he shot himself in the movie. The reason being, and in the next minute and a half, I will let you guys listen to the interview. Regis Prograis did an interview with Mill City Boxing, and he's complaining pretty much about his side. His side of things is that he had to adhere to certain weight requirements, but Devin Haney didn't. So that's his gripe. That is his bone to pick. And then the question even starts off, would you, if you could, get your belt back? You know, would that be a thing? And I guess we should just get started. Roll the clip. Let me get these headphones set up. Make sure you smash the like button. Roll the clip.
And you can have an opportunity to get your belt back. Would you do it?
He said, if you could have an opportunity to get your belt back, would you do it? That's the question being asked to Regis Prograis from the top.
And you can have an opportunity to get your belt back. Would you do it?
It's like, yes, but boxing is so corrupt, bro. Like, how bless you? How could it even happen? Boxing is so corrupt. Yeah, of course. If I have the proof, if I know for sure, it's just like, yeah, I will try to. But at the same time, bro, like, people got their picks and chooses. Like, what can you do about it? You know, like I know, like, bless you. I know that in my fight with Devin, he was over. Like, in California, you do have different rules. You're not supposed to be a certain weight over the limit. You know, you're not supposed to be a certain weight. Devin was over that certain weight, right? So, literally, the fight wasn't supposed to happen. And literally, you couldn't do that. It was.
He said, literally, per the rules, the fight technically wasn't supposed to happen because you couldn't be over. And he's talking about a 15% marker set forth by the commission. You're hearing the opponent say this. Regis Prograis. Let's go.
Supposed to happen. And literally, you couldn't do that. It was. That's the case.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Mills, what I asked him was, what does he have coming up next?
What you got coming up next?
I'm waiting, bro.
Nice little people coming in here. What's up?
I really got caught up in that. Go see police officer. Go see time. You know, we did the stuff with on the zone. You see all these things, and it's always small battles. And you know that what you call the mental warfare is like, that's super real.
Interesting.
Yo, Zap, save your questions because I'm gonna have him go on IG so he can go on your podcast too.
Okay.
All right, HLD, what you got?
It's interesting you say that, and I agree to much extent of what you're saying. That, you know, it's a different atmosphere, especially when you're in the other guy's hometown.
Right.
But in this case, this fight was not an even playing field at all. And I'm touching back to what you guys were talking about with the rehydration rule by the state commission. And you know, this man came in almost 8 pounds bigger than you for this fight.
So this other person is saying that it wasn't a fair fight because Devin came in almost 10 pounds. He said 8 pounds heavier than Regis Prograis. So they're still on the rehydration. It got brought back up.
There's no way that this was on an even playing field. And I hear what you're saying, and I understand your code.
HLD, you know what I'm saying, to be
officially fair, and Regis know too. There was no a weight check after they made their weight. So yes, there is. Yes, there was. It's recorded. I have the documents. I got the signed inspector sheet that shows Devin Haney weighed in at 140. Next day weighed in at 165. I recorded 18% rehydration, about 3% above the rehydration rule.
So basically, there's multiple people on this call. It's Mill City Boxing, Regis Prograis. They're on like a 4-way. Then there's some other dude, H, and then Zab Judah. Everybody knows Zab Judah. And basically what Zab is saying is that, hey, to be fair with everything, there was no same day weigh-in. And then the guy is correcting Zab, saying, hey, due to the fight taking place in California, there actually was, and that's what's going on. Zab Judah is also Devin Haney's godfather. So, there might be a little bit of potential bias there just because, he's known Devin since he's a kid, if he's his godfather.
Rehydration rule by the state commission. And, this man came in almost 8 pounds bigger than you for this fight. There's no way that this was on an even playing field. And I hear what you're saying, and I understand your goal. HLD, you know what I'm saying, to be, officially fair, and Regis know too. There was no a weight check after they made their weight. So yes, there is. Yes, there was. It's recorded. I have the documents. I got the signed inspector sheet that shows Devin Haney weighed in at 140. Next day weighed in at 165. I recorded 18% rehydration, about 3% above the rehydration rule by the state of California, which is binding by state law. So what you're saying is that he went over the rehydration rule limit implemented by the California State Athletic Commission. That rule was passed in October of 2019 after a set of doctors and everything had commented. That's why we're here talking. That's why we're trying to ask the questions. I mean, Regis, did you get a second weigh in the day of the fight? I mean, we got one.
So Zab just asked, he's like, hey, Regis, did they weigh you a second time? And he said, yeah, we had one.
Yeah, because for California,
156 point something like that.
Zap, this one goes his homework right here. HLD does his homework. He one of the Bulldogs. He a Bulldog of Mill City Boxing. He's a member.
Right. For California, you can't be a certain weight over.
Regis weighed in at 139 flat. Next day weigh-in was at 156.8 at a 13% increased rehydration. Devin Haney weighed in at 140 flat, came in at 165, 18%. That's 3% above the California State Athletic Commission mandated rules. That fight should have been canceled. And I'm just curious to know some things, like why do you think the commissioner allowed, the state inspector allowed that fight to continue, knowing that this is the state law? Or why did your promoter did not enforce that, knowing that should have been the problem? Regardless of the fact, a violation has been done to the state law. And that's why I'm just trying to have you curious, to have you understand that, I understand you're saying that you were fighting in a pay-per-view, that this fight, was home turf for Devin Haney and the mental warfare that goes on, and that's understandable. But there was a legitimate unfair advantage in this fight.
Hey, he going off. Hey, he going off. He said there was a unfair advantage had by Devin Haney. He went over the recommendations or whatnot of the California State Athletic Commission, and there was too high of a variance from the contracted weight to the next day weight. Yikes.
Feel the way I understand your feeling, the way you speak, because it's, I did it, it is what it is, and I get it. You don't want to sound like you're complaining within it. But one thing I do say, so many people have fought for our rights. For us to not to exercise them, then what's the point? What's the point of having these rules and laws? So when I want to know to exercise them, when I want to know, Regis, did you know of this? Was you aware? Was you and your team aware of this?
After the fight, I mean I was aware after the fight. Once I came back home, I was aware of it. But yeah, fight night, I don't know. You know nothing about that on the fight and stuff like that. But yeah, when I got back home, I saw it. I saw the official papers when I got back. But yeah, when I was in California, I didn't know nothing about it. But when I got back, there was like I saw it. But like I said, bro, I ain't complaining about it. I just let it go. Like I'm saying, what you gonna do about it? Like it is what it is. It's done. I'm not gonna complain. I mean, I know some people gonna complain about it. I let it go.
Wow. So Regis Prograis is basically saying in real time he didn't know about it, but the paperwork came out after because the commission, it was released. There's a guy on Twitter, X, his name is Jedi Goodman. He released it. So Regis being on Twitter, X, he probably seen it there, and a lot of people on Twitter were sharing it. So he said he didn't even know Devin's actual weight or necessarily of this rule until after the fact. So he said he just let it go. He already had lost his WBC belt. What's done is done, so to speak.
Letting it go. Go ahead.
Letting it go, and it's hard to hear that because I know you're speaking for yourself, but I mean, how many people connected with you with this fight and with you, your team, and everybody else have been affected because of this? Right. It's something I don't think you need to singularly think. I understand your pride like a man. Trust me, I do read this. But sometimes you need to look at it in a different perspective, man. A lot of people are affected by this. This has affected your career. Right now they're not even calling you for a fight. So imagine if you set the record straight, they declare a no contest, you get your belt reinstated because Devin Haney has yet to defend that belt. So that belt belongs to you on a no contest. And then you can tell Devin Haney, if you want to fight again, we can do this, but again, on even playing field.
Yeah, but I mean...
Hey, cuz is going off. He's like, you need to fight for this and get that no contest. I mean, to be honest, I never really even seen, like, to be honest, the fighters of yesteryear, they weren't really doing all this, right? The fighters of yesteryear, like Mayweather, Bernard Hopkins, even De La Hoya, and other guys like Manny Pacquiao, I believe, none of these guys were really, that I can recall, doing this. Roy Jones, where they're just like ballooning up, weighing 220 pounds and then coming back down to 140 or 147. So I don't remember this. This has been kind of like almost like an epidemic in more modern boxing, where we're seeing guys who are doing these drastic, crazy weight cuts from all the way up here down to here. So it's becoming a real issue. Weight bullying. Regis says he just took it on the chin and just accepted, like, yo, I lost. It is what it is. But this guy on the phone is saying, hey, I mean, if it's a rule, then it's a rule. Like, you shouldn't just let it be so quick to let it go. They're not even calling you for your next fight. This has affected your career. I mean, that's a solid point. But as far as like switching it, like Devin got the belt now, making it no contest, I don't know. I'm not the commission, so I've never seen that happen. Devin did win the fight because I was there. I was at the fight. I was in San Francisco, and Devin pitched a shutout basically. So in my opinion, it would probably be kind of hard to reverse it to a no contest because this wasn't caught. I mean, more or less, you might have to do like a lawsuit type of deal, like where you sue the commission for allowing it to, something like that. But I don't know. We're just spitballing. I don't know how this will play out.
That sound good, but how likely is that to come true? You know what I'm saying? How is that even? That sound good,
it's a
but
state law. Regis is a state law.
I'm saying, all right, it's a state law, but then we go. Then
you never talked to your legal team not one time about
we get all right. I'm saying, but like, when did that happen before? You know what I'm saying? We get lawyers to get involved and do all this. He fought, and Ryan, he lost to Ryan. Like you gotta think about all the stuff that has to go on to even do that. I mean, now since y'all said it, I didn't think people looked at it like that. Since y'all said it, then y'all could look into it. But I was like, you know, whatever.
Hear me out.
So Regis said kind of what I said, and this is my honest live reaction. I haven't heard all this. So he basically said what I said is like, there's no precedence for it, basically. So it's just, I mean, again, it's like modern problems for modern day. It's modern days, so you need modern day solutions for modern day problems. This wasn't something that was running so rampant with the weight bullying and the rehydrations is crazy and stuff like that. So I don't know how this would play out, but he sounds a little bit skeptical. He just was like, man, I just had to take the L, take the fade.
You really don't have to do much, but by just filing a complaint with the state commission on the online form that they have a link to. It's not even having to get lawyers or anything like that. This is your right. You need to find out. They need to do an investigation.
Dang, so he sent Regis the form. Like, he's sending him the form to lodge a complaint with the commission. Wow.
Investigation. Why the inspector allowed this fight to happen? It's clearly a big violation, as if you have not seen how the commissioner of the state of California has spoken upon it.
Yeah.
Come on to IG Live. Come on to IG Live. Henry's coming in right now. So come on to IG Live and talk to Zab. You heard, right. Regis?
Huh?
I know.
Thank.
Come on to IG Live. Henry's coming in right now.
Wow, this is nuts. This whole thing is a mess, man. You know, it is what it is. I don't know if Regis Prograis, you know, if it's in his heart to want to try to get this solved, but this is a whole issue. And like, to be honest, the Haneys kind of brought this on themselves, and I'm gonna explain why. Because they were complaining, not the Ostarine is his own thing. I totally get that if someone's on PEDs, you got to look into it and or, you know, try to get the no contest, no decision. But they also, in their 8-page letter to the commission, they, like, in my opinion, I said this from day one, in my opinion, it made more sense to focus your complaint to the commission, focus all of it on the Ostarine. Ban performance enhancing drug in his system. We need to look into that, B sample, all that. But that's not what Team Haney did. Team Haney, in addition, they're saying, yo, Ryan tricked us and he came in heavy and overweight, and his fans are also doing a lot of complaining and crying about Ryan missing weight 3.2 pounds. And they try to take it to another level even before it was known that Ryan failed a drug test. That's the problem. So I think the fans and researchers like this guy H on the phone, they started looking into it and saying like, yo, hey, wait a minute. How is Devin Haney gonna be complaining so much about weight and crying over the 3.2 pounds, but then you did this to Regis Prograis? So again, I don't know in this Unpacked what happens. That's on Regis Prograis. I don't know if because you know, he's a New Orleans dude. He might be like, oh, this is snitching. I don't want to pursue it. I don't know. That's up to him. However, if he does, it might get interesting. That's what I'm saying. And either way, it still exposes the hypocrisy of the situation in the fact that Devin's team complained that Ryan was too heavy and based a lot of their argument on that. Not just the Ostarine, but the Ostarine plus Ryan is too heavy and 3.2 pounds. Ryan to miss weight initially by 3.2 pounds. I've told you this. That's his fault, Ryan. He's unprofessional for missing weight. From that point on, you have a civic duty and executive decisions need to be made. You need to renegotiate and determine what the next step is. Team Haney and the powers that be with his team elected to continue fighting against Ryan Garcia. So when the fight doesn't work out, and only when it doesn't work out, you can't be crying about it, because you're basically entering a new negotiation and basically new terms. So that, coupled with what you did to Regis Prograis and the fact that your fight, and this is what I told you, I talked about this a long time ago, right? On my live stream right after the fight. It just looks bad for Team Haney, in my opinion, because it looks very hypocritical that you basically only care when it affects you, but when you play similar weight games to your foes and then you win, then you want full credit for the victory. So right here, this is audio from somebody with the commission in California, and they're basically identifying that this is a huge problem in California in combat sports, with these fighters rehydrating a crazy amount over the 15%, and they're trying to nip it in the bud, basically.
So just recently, Topuria, Volkanovski, Paulo Costa, Jeff Neal. We get down to boxing. Magayaso versus Figueroa. That bout would have been canceled. Golden Boy Angel Acosta, which we've been working with him for a long time, but that would have been canceled. Walter Sabonis would have been canceled. Yeah, Devin Haney.
You heard that. He said Devin Haney. He said the Devin Haney fight, would be canceled too. Wow.
Yeah, Devin Haney. So just recently.
Wow. So basically, the weight bullying stuff is a thing of the past. It's coming to an end, I believe, because people are gaming the system and people are looking for new ways to increase their advantage, and the commission is hip to it. And you know how these things work. California is a strict commission, Nevada and New York. But once one commission implements this, if they see it a problem, then I wouldn't be surprised if Nevada, which is a sister commission on the same coast, California is right here, Nevada right there. So this might be a trickle down effect because of the fighters taking advantage and blowing up to these monstrosities of rehydration weights the next day. And the fact that he even referenced Devin Haney and says this is a big problem. The other issue is, what if somebody like Devin Haney rehydrates 25 pounds, which is over their recommended 15% variance and threshold? And what if like Regis Prograis was permanently wounded from the fight? Then it could be a different issue where you have liability issues if somebody's permanently maimed or killed or anything, and the commission allowed the fight to happen and it happened on their watch, blood was shed. So this probably is not going anywhere. And again, the reason why it looks bad for Devin Haney is the hypocrisy. Devin Haney's complaining, and his team and his fans, the Haneyacks, are complaining about 3.2 pounds when they clearly weight bullied Regis Prograis and guys like Lomachenko and probably Jojo Diaz. So they've been playing the weight game for a while. I don't know how, but somehow he's young. So Devin Haney's crunching down to make the weight and then doing whatever. Regis Prograis had insinuated that he believes there is an illegal rehydration process, like an intravenous IV, which would be illegal without an exemption or permission from the commission, without notifying them. So at the end of the day, I don't know. This is going to be something that continues to harp. And now people, since it's out there like this, people are going to look at future Devin Haney fights, and people are going to be paying attention to the weight. It's getting to a point where fighters aren't fighting their weight class. Devin Haney might need to be at 47. He might need to be at 54, or at least tame his walk around weight so you don't have as much to lose. But, you know, the fact that you're in your first fight at 140 when you fought Regis Prograis and you outweighed him by almost 10 pounds is pretty alarming. In fact, Devin Haney weighed 165. That's how much Canelo weighed, who was a 154-pound fighter who fought Mayweather at 152 in the Floyd Mayweather fight. That's weird because Canelo is naturally bigger than Devin Haney, and he was 23, so he was young when he fought Floyd. And just Canelo got a stocky build, like a big neck, you know, bigger arms, big legs. No Diddy, of course, but Canelo's just like more of a stocky, like compact, squatty, like Mike Tyson type of frame. And you're weighing the same thing that he weighed versus Floyd. That's just a lot of weight. And the crazy thing is, it also looks bad for Devin in the sense that you're not getting knockouts. So you're excessively going over the variance in California in terms of your rehydration weight, but you're not even getting the stoppages even with all that weight. Because again, I told you guys, power doesn't work like that. You're not gonna increase your power just simply by weighing more. Some guys are naturally powerful. Like a guy could weigh like 150 and be stronger than someone who's 175 and hit harder. You see what I'm saying? Like, power is like Julian Jackson. He's just naturally gifted. Deontay Wilder, Better Be If. Some guys just got cracks. So trying to game the system and come in really heavy, that's just not the ticket. Let me know what you guys think. We unpacked. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack.